Alright, hello. All my friends have requested that I videotape my gross, mortifying blister popping. So here I am. Let me show you what I did. Boom! Alright, so there's my blister. It's shiny, gross, pressurized. It's about 2 inches in length. There's some scale for you. A little under 2 inches. Not too bad. It's about nearly 3/4 of an inch thick. For our metric friends, that's about 1.5 centimeters deep and about 5 centimeters long. And I went into the urgent care. They said don't pop it, and everything on the internet says don't pop it. I'm not the smartest person, so I'm going to pop it. What my thinking is that if I go out in public, go to the mall, go to a really dirty environment where there's lots of disease and germs and things like that, I hit it on the wall, I hit it, on my clothing, on a zipper, something like that, and it pops, much more likely of getting infected than if I do it here in a sterile environment and dress it properly, make it much less likely to get infected and to hit it on stuff. So that's my thinking. The doctor did say that as long as I give the dermis layer underneath the new tissue long enough time to become mature, that the risk of infection is much less. So what I want to do is release the pressure, drain it, and put a nice sterile wrapping on it. Here's what I got. The cream they gave me was, you can't read that because my camera sucks, but sulfur sulfadiazine. It's a 1% cream. It's much like Neosporin or something like that. It's designed specifically for burns, blisters, things like that. I've got a sterile gauze dressing pad. I got some stretchy self-adhesive, meaning it sticks to itself, not skin. Gauze pad. I have some hydrogen peroxide, some rubbing alcohol, and I've got these BZK benzalkonium chloride first aid antiseptic packets. I'll probably be using those for the initial prep, cleaning, that kind of thing. I have some paper towels laid out to absorb the disgusting liquid that's going to be pouring out of my body. I have some just standard adhesive bandage tape, some Q-tips, and a couple little needles. And my buddy said probably shouldn't use such a thick needle. Smaller hole's probably better, so I have this really tiny needle that I will be sterilizing in alcohol before I stick it into myself. I have some scissors, not to cut my skin, but to cut the bandages. I also have this tube gauze. It's really cool stuff. You can stretch it open, stick your finger inside, and it closes back down on it. Makes it really easy to do fingers and hands and things like that. So that's pretty neat stuff. I think that's pretty much all I have. So I think it's time to start poking holes in myself.
Okay, it's ready when you are.
Alright, well, I've talked myself back onto the ledge. So here I am, about ready to pop this thing. Once again, I don't recommend that, really my face.
Just for a second.
Oh, God.
There you go.
Alright, once again, I don't recommend that you pop your blisters before talking to a doctor or something like that. I recommend that if it's really small or even half this size, you're supposed to let them heal on their own. Don't pop them because it can introduce infection. I'm doing this in a very sterile environment. I've wiped everything down. The needle itself, give it a little bit of isopropyl alcohol disinfectant. I'm going to wipe it off so I don't get isopropyl alcohol inside. And you know what? I'm just going to do it. So here goes nothing. If you hear a big thunk, that's me fainting and hitting the floor. So here goes. I didn't feel that. So the needle's in, and I'm going to remove it, and it's leaking out. Not that bad, actually. In fact, it barely came out. It almost seems to have plugged itself. So what I'm going to do is get the bigger needle, wipe it off a little bit. It's also sterile. Try and pick that same hole. There we go. And it squirted at me. Yep, that was gross. Now I'm going to go ahead and just drain it out. As you can see, it's squirting out like a steady stream. And that's possibly the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. Hasn't really gone down in size much. I feel like I could just sit here and squeeze it all day long and have fluid continue to come out. It's really disgusting. I'm sure you can see the paper plate discoloring. Yeah, it's almost to the point where if I push it anymore, I'll be pushing on the fresh skin underneath. You can see it looks like a empty water balloon, or for lack of a better term, a used condom or something like that, like a getting the remaining fluid out of this is not going to be easy. So what I'm going to do is just continue. It stings. Continue massaging the liquid out. This is definitely on the top 10 most disgusting things I've ever done list. It stings when it's empty. Now I have stuff touching the fluid underneath. I'm not actually sure what to do here. Go ahead and pause the camera for now and get right back to you. Alright, well, I popped it. It's finger-like again, somewhat. It still hurts like hell. The one on the bottom is a little smaller now, and I got a circus tent worth of material left on top of my finger. Looks like I already have some sort of a plastic bag or something over it. That's just skin. It's just stretched out skin. It's disgusting, and probably some of you are barfing at the moment, and I apologize for that. But I'll put a warning on there or something, so you the squeamish look away. I'm going to go ahead and dress this up, put a bandage on it, keep infection out of it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some cream on it. So that silver sulfadiazine, or sulfadiazine, yeah, I got it right the first time. I did clean my hands really well before this. Just be liberal with this stuff. Stings when the old skin touches the new skin underneath. to some gauze out. Open it up. Cover it up. Okay. Well, I've got it predominantly covered up. I'm going to go ahead and put some tube gauze on it. Give myself a good length of it. I'll show you how to do this. Drop it in my excretions. Stuff on. Glove. Actually, there's a better way to do this. One sec, I'll show you. Alright, so what you do, take an empty paper towel tube, stretch this stuff over it, put your finger in, start stretching it off onto your finger. Grab it with my finger here, and twist it off. I'm going to have my assistant put his finger right where mine is. There we go. I'm going to twist this off. Once I get to the end of my finger, go back down over it. Just like that. Now, got a nice 90% sterile environment for my finger. Another step, you can take a, they don't really make finger cots this big, but you can take a non-lubricated condom or something like that, and you can put it over the end of it as well, trim it off, and that would keep it fairly sterile. I'm just going to take some waterproof bandage tape and wrap it around the base. Assistant, please. Tell you what, that does sting. My goal with this is just to keep it somewhat sealed, so you know how crumbs of food and whatever falling down into there and getting into my infection, or getting into my wound and causing an infection. So there it is. Blister popped, and hopefully, if I leave this bandage on, the cream will be able to keep infection out, loosen up the skin, allow my body to make it contract back up, or just to allow the underlying skin to heal, and hopefully the other skin will just get crusty and fall off. But there it is, Blister 101 from a complete novice, someone who doesn't know anything. Take it as such.